/night. Thank you. So we're gonna continue the night here at Dutch Bros. Alright, so I had a small group this morning and it was all about business and having shifting your business mindset, stuff like that. And the title of it was Permission to Win. Sorry. The title of it was Giving Yourself Permission to Win. Avoiding negative outcomes by focusing on solutions and those actions that you can now take to get the solutions you're wanting. So it was a great little worksheet that I had to do throughout the week pertaining to my business. And what I learned today also is that if I'm not in a healthy spot, my business won't be in a healthy spot either. So the first task was to write down 3 negative things about my business. And it was so surprising how quickly I came up with those 3 things. Now, Turtle Crew Productions has been something, or has been around since 2021. Officially, unofficially, Turtle Crew Productions has been around since about 2019. Now, 2019 into 2020 was the start of COVID. Everything was shutting down. Churches were shutting down. And one of the things that I did was I started to help different churches record their sermons and then edit those sermons or midweek Bible studies and put them on YouTube. That's just kind of a little bit of background for Turtle Crew Productions and when it started. So I was helping church in Waterford, church in Salida. We were recording their services, whether it's on a Wednesday or a Friday or Saturday. Me and my uncle Ernie, he's the one that kind of helped me out. We started off with a Canon Rebel T5i, I believe it was, and with like a 50 millimeter lens. Went to go get a janky tripod, and we had lights that I don't even know where those lights came from or where they went. To this day, I still don't know. But it was just like a basic setup. I have 1 camera, 2 lights, didn't even have an extension cord. I didn't have an extension cord. I didn't have a, power strip. Didn't really know how to edit. One of the churches was in Spanish. So for me, that was the biggest hurdle to kind of jump over. And I remember listening to the preaching, and I believe in those early stages, I didn't even have a microphone yet. So I was just using whatever shotgun mic I had, and I had to figure out the audio. We didn't have AI back in 2019 like we do now. So, man, just thinking back from where I was back in 2019 to now, 2023, the year's almost over. Sorry, I get off track a little bit. But going back to 2019, 2020, the biggest hurdle at one of the churches was Spanish. Now, I didn't know Spanish, and that was like the most difficult thing for me because I had to translate everything while recording, and I can't remember how I translated it. And I want to say even for the other church, I did something in Spanish too, but I can't remember how I translated it. But I just remember I had, English and Spanish, or he was speaking Spanish and I throw English up, subtitles and all that stuff. I remember having to translate. I just forgot how I did the translation. But anyways, so, I still struggle with that now. doing Spanish and English or whatever. So anyways, so seeing where the business was in 2019 to now, it just created, you know, I looked back on it, and people say the destination, you know, it's not the journey, it's the destination. But I think it's the journey. Like, everyone wants to get to the destination. I get it. You want to be in that successful range. You want to be whatever. But I think the journey is extremely important too, because if you don't take a moment or take time to look back every once in a while, especially when you're in those moments of, man, I'm in a rut, or man, the creativity isn't coming to me right now. I don't have the capacity to create. I don't have the energy to pour out. If you don't take a moment and just look back at those, at how far you've come from when you started, then you'll never begin to realize that your capacity to create has grown. Your capacity to pour out into other people through what you make, that well or that cup that you have, it's gotten bigger. You've been able to hold more to then pour out more. So if you don't take the time to look at how far you've come or the journey that you're on, you'll never realize how far you've actually made it. And that to me is incredible. If I look back at 2019 up to 2023, we're in August, about to shift to September. Like, it makes me happy to see how far I've come. Yeah, I'm not where I would love to be. You know, there's certain goals and milestones I'd love to have hit by now, and I haven't. And I've accepted that. You know, I've accepted that I haven't hit those milestones and everything. But again, looking back, it's starting off at a church in Waterford with one tripod. I don't even know if I had two lights. It was maybe one light, maybe two. But a tripod or a Canon Rebel T5i, one microphone. Ernie on my right-hand man was Ernie. He would actually drive with me. So shout out to Ernie. I'll tag him here, but shout out to Ernie, because Ernie was the one who drove me to this church. Me and him would get in the car, we'd put all the equipment in there, and we'd drive to the church. We'd set up, we'd do what we had to do, record. He'd help me tear down, and then, you know, he wouldn't help with the editing or anything, but he'd help me with all the logistics. Okay, let's plan what time we're gonna get there. Hey, you take note on, hey, here's a scripture, here's this, here's that. So he was my right-hand man throughout the few years that I was really building into everything. So the journey is such an incredible thing to just realize and understand, because Ernie was, yes, the guy who helped me start it all. But on this journey, I've gotten many more individuals to actually help support me, to guide me, and to coach me as I develop my business. So I know I started off with the worksheet that I was going over and everything, but if I were to really just say something to, I guess, encourage those who are wanting to start a business, who are wanting to do something, it's going to be difficult. It will not be easy starting a business. It will not be easy to continuously work on your business. There's going to be days, no, you're good, man. There's going to be days when you're tired. There's going to be days when you're exhausted, when you don't want to go anymore. You don't want to create anymore. You're just going to be out. You're going to be, I guess, burned out, but not to the point where you're going to completely stop. So it's not going to be easy. Pay attention to your journey. The destination will always be there. The destination may shift every now and again, but you're going to know where you want to end up eventually. The journey is what really matters. So pay attention to it. Take a moment to look back. And it's a little cliche, but the good old days of, wow, I started with one camera, a janky tripod, and a janky light. The light would flicker on and off. It was dim. You know, it's just looking at the equipment and then looking at what I have now, like, I'm blessed. And honestly, it's just one of those things that it goes back to the small group. I didn't realize it or recognize it until today. And that's why I'm saying all of this. It was in this little small group that once we finished, I was able to reflect over the last few years of when I started to see that journey and how far I've come. And it's amazing. You know, I'm not the best. I'm not the greatest photographer or videographer out there, but I love what I do. And everything that I do when it comes to the creative, I try to make sure that I'm bringing some type of joy, some type of happiness, or something to those who watch my content so that they feel something or they remember something. Or if it's for weddings or events, like what I want to leave people is joy and happiness every time they look at their photos, videos, any content that I've created for them. Okay, so all of that just to say, I don't know. This is kind of like a rambling. This was just kind of one of those things that I didn't really know what to talk about, and so now I'm talking about it. I hope I kind of touched somebody or encourage somebody to, hey, kind of think about starting a business or think about starting that passion, whether it's photo, video, graphic design, any type of ministry or any type of hobby, and just kind of seeing, looking back, where you were when you started and then where you're at today. And then just take that as encouragement to keep doing what you're doing, keep moving forward, and keep pressing on. So yeah, that's it. I don't know when I'm going to post this, but yeah, that is 20 minutes with Nate on creative stuff.